We are the Intuitive Marketing team, and we are going to be presenting our content to date for the Granite Cloud service that Perpetual Storage provides. David and Mike, please feel free to have the content to date document that we sent to you with this presentation open as you follow along today so you can see the information included in this presentation in more detail and help aid your understanding as we go along.
Under each deliverable, we have outlined what needs need to be accomplished in helping generate more leads for Perpetual Storage. And in the next slide, this will take us to Trello, which is our Gantt chart, which dives into each task associated with each deliverable. And later down in the presentation, we'll actually go over the challenges we may face moving forward.
Thanks, Jaden. So when we were focusing on finding our target market, we picked a list of industries that we wanted to focus on that could best use our products. And we want to make sure that all of those potential companies that are within these industries are within 100 miles of Perpetual Storage because of their courier services. So they can take advantage of the full spectrum of the services, as well as we want to focus on those medium-sized companies with 30 to about 250 employees.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. So for our competitors research that we have completed, we decided to focus on two direct competitors to the Granite Cloud. These are Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. These are the two main lead target competitors that are existent in the industry today. So looking over Amazon Web Services, they do provide 240 products and services under the cloud. They have availability zones all throughout the world with plenty of options for free trials that exist from for 1 year to a quarter of a year, all the way down to products that are always free no matter what. And they also provide many resources to use to figure out what you're going to pay for their service, such as a free tier, the calculator, and several documents on their pricing and how to optimize the costs. They also provide exact pricing for their backup services under their cloud available, depending on the region that you are existent in. And Microsoft Azure is rather similar to Amazon. They do provide 273 cloud products and services. A little bit higher than Amazon. They're one of the main leaders when it comes to the products and services they provide. They have 6 storage options in their cloud, and they also provide a pricing guide, an optimization tool, pricing calculator, and also a cost of ownership calculator available to clients to see what they're going to pay. So with those two competitors in mind, we do have some recommendations on how Granite Cloud and Perpetual Storage can compete with those leading industry companies. And so the first recommendation is to provide a pricing guide or some form of calculator or informational document on the website available for prospects to use. Currently, there's just no way for people to know what they're going to pay without going through a meeting or some kind of inquiry with the business with Perpetual Storage. So that could be highly beneficial with getting people down the sales funnel and generating leads altogether. The second recommendation is to focus on the unique value proposition of the Granite Cloud. That's crucial to identifying a certain avenue of where to dominate in the market, because competing with Microsoft and Amazon is incredibly difficult. And so it would be highly more beneficial to pick a different route of market to go into that's not so red ocean. The third is be more specific with product and service offerings. It's incredibly valuable to make essential information known on the website, as specific as humanly possible, of things that we already offer that may not be listed on there, such as free trials, a frequently asked questions page, the pricing, and so on. The fourth is to consider product and or service expansion with the Granite Cloud. We already can, Perpetual Storage already offers 3 services within the Granite Cloud. I think branching that out, there's lots of opportunity to branch out certain products and services that we could offer to compete with other competitors in the industry. And the last recommendation is to just simply consider a longer free trial. But currently it's for 1 month free trial. By allowing a longer one, whether it's a couple more months to a year, set in stone, that could help businesses that are bigger implement it in all their services and really see the value that we're offering.
Thanks, Bo. So after our social media audit of both Microsoft Azure and Amazon Web Services, we noticed a couple trends. We noticed that both companies focus heavily on LinkedIn and Twitter, and they really like to get the community, build community relationships, and they do different webinars and seminars and that give consistent updates on what both of their companies are offering. We know that with Perpetual Storage, the product is a little bit different, but we do still think it's a good strategy to focus on LinkedIn, and especially reaching out to potential clients that meet our criteria that we've labeled in our target markets. And if we can reach out to those companies and build bonds and connect with those people, we think that we'll be able to find success and get some more clients as well. And now I'll turn it over to Braden.
And so this is the search engine optimization, known as SEO. It is the practice of increasing both the quality and the quantity of website traffic. And so these are the top 9 phrases that were used to research cloud storage in this industry that aren't associated with a specific company. And so this is what will best help us compete against Amazon and Azure in moving forward. And so with that, Braden will take us to our next slide.
Awesome. So the first piece of content that we really wanted to focus on to help Perpetual Storage identify where their customers were at with what they were doing currently so that they could market the Granite Cloud further coming up on that relaunch, was the Net Promoter Score, where they can identify the detractors, passives, promoters, to really understand what they're doing well, what they need to do better, and who will ultimately promote their business and their product. A couple of questions. We wanted to make 2 surveys, one for current customers and one for newly acquired customers, that go through different questions on a scale of 0 to 10 to help identify how likely they are to recommend the company's products, how satisfied they are with the service, and then an open question that will allow them to offer suggestions of what they can do better. And similarly, with the newly acquired customers, they have the same questions except for the third one. It's a little different, as it says, now that you have received the Granite Cloud, how likely are you to recommend Perpetual Storage to a friend or colleague? The second form of content we really wanted to push was a freemium model. Currently, they do a 1-month free trial, like Bo was mentioning, that isn't highly marketed on their website. And so we really wanted to create a landing page that showed that that was a big deal, that they could get that free trial. We labeled it with Perpetual Storage's logo this time so that people know, hey, this is Perpetual Storage's product, and creating those leads and generating those leads coming into the company and allowing for more generation of leads and closing of sales. So now I will turn the time over to Bo again to go over some challenges that relate to our Gantt chart.
Awesome. So in relation to this, as far as the tasks, some of these are early and later stages. The first challenges that we've had to overcome involve with communication. In the early stages, it was clear that whether it was with ourselves or with Mike, the communication was slightly hindered just with some confusion of what we're going over and how. So overcoming and setting set communication days and times has really helped our progression. The second challenge was expectations. Understanding what is expected of us and what we can produce realistically to Perpetual Storage was huge, and that has solely been evolved with our deliverables that we've decided to include and do this semester, with being realistic with expectations with each other on what we can produce. The third one is understanding of marketing practices and deliverables. Back and forth with the client and with us, it was clear that some of us, whether on the intuitive marketing side or the Perpetual Storage side, some marketing practices and ideas were not in our field of expertise. And so understanding what is special to do in particular to the marketing was obviously a challenge that we had to overcome and get better at, which is good that we have, because now we're able to focus on number 4, which is the marginal marketing and print at PSI. After review, it's clear that PSI has done some marketing in the past and is still making efforts to do so through the use of a marketing firm. And part of that challenge has just been understanding where to start with their marketing and how to implement what. And that is represented in our deliverables that we chose. So that's been part of the issue, is not having a full marketing department to work with. However, that has been overcome and put to rest through the firm. And the last one is identifying tasks and deliverables that could be produced with the unique business model. So it's no doubt that Perpetual Storage has a very unique business model that can be put towards their benefit greatly. It's an opportunity that exists in the market if used correctly. And so we just wanted to make sure the tasks and deliverables that we do produce and can are aligned with the unique business model that is present and that we can optimize on the goals and tasks thereof.
So a couple of approvals that we need to make sure that we receive before continuing on with our deliverables and the tasks at hand is number one, which has been discussed a little bit, is access to Perpetual Storage's website so we can identify those things that need to be changed or adjusted. The second is permission to work with the current marketing firm that Perpetual Storage is hired on to help to streamline the efforts in order to make sure that Perpetual Storage is the most effective it could be in its marketing efforts. And the third is to identify a possible additional task to offer potential businesses that Perpetual Storage could market to. We're excited to work with Perpetual Storage and continue to work towards the end goal through all these deliverables in increasing their business and allowing them to be more successful as a company. And if there are any questions or concerns, we look forward to continued communication with Mike and the Perpetual Storage team. Thank you.